Right.
Okay.
Sorry, right.
Okay. Yes, Mayor, I apologize.
There you go. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board designed for that purpose, and notice was transmitted to the official newspapers provided by resolution January 7, 2023. Meeting notice has been continually posted at the borough website. Can I have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Here.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Here.
Councilman Addison?
Here.
Councilwoman Russo is absent but excused. Councilman Bagan?
Here.
And Mayor. Thank you.
We'll move into our caucus session. Not seeing any items on the caucus session, we'll recess from caucus and commence with the business session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. We'll now open it up for public comment on agenda items only. That's caucus and agenda items only. If you have comment about anything on the agenda, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Not seeing any public comment, we'll close the public comment portion on the agenda items. And we'll move into the approval of the minutes for the July 5th, 2023 work session meeting. May I have a motion for the approval of the minutes of the July 5th, 2023 work session meeting?
Motion by Pagan.
A motion by Councilman Pagan. May I have a second?
Austin second.
Seconded by Councilman Addison. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right, thank you. Next, the approval of the executive session minutes of the June 20th, 2023 business meeting. May I have a motion for the approval of the executive session minutes of the June 20th, 2023 business meeting?
Motion by Pagan.
Motion by Councilman Pagan. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? All right. Thank you. And we'll move into the council member reports. Starting with Councilman Pagan.
You got it. Got a lot to report on, but I'll try to make it brief. As you may have heard, the 4th of July parade went on, and it was a smashing success, and what a heck of a way to go out. I'm hoping to fill those shoes, because that was a big undertaking. This is the biggest one I've seen so far. The firecracker 5K went off, that was also excellent, and I gotta thank everybody involved. It's not one person doing all the work, it was a group effort, and it was awesome 4th of July this year. With Parks and Rec, the Devon soccer fields are underway, and they're looking pretty good so far, I might say. And I just got word last night that Haas Park, the construction has started too, and most of the equipment is actually in. So hopefully that will be completed as well. And that's all I got to report. Oh, I just wanted to say, Trish has done amazing, and I got some big shoes to fill. She will be missed.
Very true. Thank you, Councilman Pagan. Council President Morgan.
Thank you, Mayor. I do want to echo Councilman Brown's statements about the 4th of July parade. It was very impressive. It was a great job by Councilwoman Nicholas and Councilman Brown in organizing it, and all who participated and cooperated as well, especially the chief of our department. They did a great job in organizing everything as well. I also just want to add that we had in past months Historic Preservation Committee meeting as I guess we'll consider part of the redevelopment plan is the St. Mary's property. The application effectively was two parts. One, they sought permission to demolish part of the church building, and then to approve the building of a proposed residential structure. The HPC voted, it was 4-1 in favor of the partial demolition, and tabled the application with regard to the proposed building. It was initially thought that the remainder of the application would be continued till until July meeting. However, since spoken with representatives for St. Mary's, and they are intending to push it to the August meeting. So if you have any interest in speaking up on that application, please feel free to come to the August meeting of the Historic Preservation Committee. That's it from this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Councilman Ossom?
Okay, yeah, I was, gonna wanna, no, Trish, Councilwoman Egbert is not here, but I wanted to thank her for 2.5 years of service. She did a great job along with, Councilman McGann on the 4th of July parade. It was fantastic. She worked really hard to improve the facilities, buildings, the fields. She kept a watch on the parks and, recreation, kept all the teams going, especially during the pandemic. She did a great job with all the events, and I wish her well at her new place. And then I also want to thank the young man, Chris Greasy, from Troop 67, who was doing his Eagle project, and he completed the rebuild of the gazebo. So I had the pleasure of working with him on that and signing his paperwork to get his Eagle Scout badge. And I think it looks fantastic. And then I got word today, I guess there's a problem with the AC failure at the library, so I guess we gotta go look at that and see what's wrong with that. And then police side, we had 5,029 miles driven, 1,096 calls for service, 18 arrests, 15 accidents investigated, 16 ACS complaints, 133 motor vehicles, something issued. And I guess everything's running smooth. We got all our new staff over there with promotions and everything. It was wonderful. We could have them here the last meeting, get everybody sworn in. It's quite a few swearings for one meeting. It was great. And I think they're all happy to get their pictures and congratulate each other. It was fantastic. And then on the construction side, this month we had 100 inspections. We took in $14,804. So that was a pretty good month for, that's June. July isn't in yet. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman Ossom. Councilwoman Phillips?
Thank you. I want to echo everyone's kudos on the 4th of July parade. It was amazing. I also want to echo the kudos to Councilwoman Egbert, who I took office alongside almost 3 years ago. It's hard to believe where does the time go. It was an honor to serve alongside her, and she will be sorely missed. I also want to thank our fire department, also our police department, for their response to all of the flooding and the emergencies that happened on the night of July 4th. That's a lot going on, and especially on a holiday. So we always appreciate the prompt response. EMS as well. We appreciate the prompt response to emergent situations like that, flash flooding like we haven't really seen, although it unfortunately is becoming more common these days. And also thanks to the DPW for their cleanup efforts. Update as to the fire department report. I have, for June, there were a total of 75, 28 in Haddon Heights, 31 to Barrington, 8 mutual aid calls, and 8 to the highway. So they're doing a great job, as they've been doing since the beginning of the year in the merger. Thank you to Chief Hales for leading that initiative. And also I have updates from Councilwoman Russo, who's not here tonight, engineering update. And this might be echoed, I'm not sure with the engineering report, but she said the construction on Station and the Atlantics to White Horse Pike should be starting soon. The construction by the Dell continues. They're starting to get the scope of the project together for the missing sidewalks throughout town, so the survey and the design are next. I think that's all I have.
All right, Mayor's report. I just want to echo everybody's thoughts on the 4th of July parade, but specifically I want to thank Maddie Lappin, who was our, she was the parade grand marshal, and she has raised, I think, a little over almost $3,000 towards her charity Team Teal, which supports childhood cancer research. For those still interested in donating, I'll share the link again, but I've shared it once or twice now already. I believe the Retrospect is finally running their piece on it as well in the Retrospect for us. But Maddie's got an incredible story, and I encourage people to take advantage. She's about a third of the way towards her goal, and I just encourage people, if you enjoyed the 4th of July parade, this young girl from Haddon Heights. With that said, I also want to thank Councilwoman Egbert for 2.5 years of service. She has done an incredible job in a very small amount of time, especially helping this town rebound and kind of go back to a sense of normalcy post-pandemic. And she did that through all of her hard work, specifically on our civic events committees. Finally, earlier last week, I attended a press conference in Haddonfield where they received a $5 million allocation from the state line item from the budget for a new police station. At that conference, I know the chief of police and the mayor expressed tremendous thanks to our own chief for all the assistance over the last 6 or 7 months, where we provided the ability for their police department to house, I guess, prisoners, do interviews, anything like that that involved where they just were unable to do it due to the fact that their police precinct is in like a, I think, quote unquote dungeon is what they called it. So, but again, I just want to thank the chief. That's what this town is all about, and I think that's the key to good government in these small towns, is that we look to just helping each other out in that shared service in a sense. So thank you, chief. With that, that's all I have for the mayor's report. Moving on to unfinished business and seeing none, we'll move to new business. We have the introduction of ordinance 2023-1532, an ordinance Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, establishing new chapter 152 entitled Lead-Based Paint. Public hearing and final adoption of ordinance 2023-1532 will be held Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, at approximately 7 p.m. at the municipal building located at 625 Station Avenue, Haddon Heights, New Jersey 08035. I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2023-1532.
Motion by Hagan.
A motion by Councilman Pagan. May I have a second?
Phillips, second.
Second by Councilwoman Phillips. May I have a roll call vote?
Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Addison?
Yes.
Councilman Pagan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, public hearing and final adoption of ordinance 2023-1532 will be held Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, at approximately 7 p.m. at the municipal building located at 625 Station Ave, Haddon Heights, New Jersey 08035. Again, that's Wednesday, August 2nd. The August meeting, just to remind everybody, is moved to Wednesday, not Tuesday, because of National Night Out. Correct, Chief? Correct. There you go. Correct. Got that fixed. It only took us a couple of years. Resolution 2023-136, a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement by and between the County of Camden Department of Public Works, the Borough of Haddon Heights, for the installation of maintenance of a solar-powered speed display sign on Prospect Ridge Boulevard. Resolution 2023-137, authorizing an agreement by and between the Borough of Haddon Heights and by Bay Hill Environmental for lead-based paint assessment and lead-safe clearance services. Resolution 2023-138, a resolution authorizing partial refund of a permit fee to Vision Solar. Resolution 2023-139, a resolution authorizing refund of a summer recreation program fee. Resolution 2023-140, a resolution authorizing payments of bills and claims for the second half of July. And finally, Resolution 2023-141, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. For one, procedural matter related to conducting rental registration and lead paint-based inspections. Discussion is expected to be a half-hour duration. Formal action may be taken on the foregoing item following executive session. We have a motion for those resolutions, please.
Addison motion.
Motion by Councilman Addison. May I have a second?
Hagan, second.
Second by Councilman Pagan. We have a roll call vote.
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Addison?
Yes.
Councilman Pagan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now open it up for public comment. That's public comment on anything at all. Doesn't have to be on the agenda. Just step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Good evening, ma'am.
My name is Chris Feast, 1352 Maple Avenue. I'm here asking questions about the flooding that they had on July 4th. There was a 100-year storm about 8 years ago, and they did a lot of reconstruction for Station Avenue to prevent drainage problems again. Has that been looked into as to why it didn't work?
So I can speak to a little bit, but our engineer, Craig Riley's, one of our engineers, Craig Riley's here, he can probably speak to a little more. My understanding, the biggest issue we saw once the water receded was the debris that was obstructing those inlets because of all the wind that kind of preceded the storm. And that was again the issue, I believe, out on Maple Ave, which was when the water, you can see the water was draining, it was just the fact that, it's like a tub. Yeah, if it's blocked, it's gonna restrict how fast the water can go. Unfortunately, I think we received close to 3 inches of rain in 45 minutes, so those two.
I was in Florida.
Lucky you.
Lucky you, yeah.
I did see it on the news then.
Yeah, we had, we had a few confirmation emails on that too about Maple Ave and stuff. They said like, hey, it was better, but the issue being, like they noticed was, once they went out to the drain, the water subsided, it was, the majority of it being blocked. And that becomes the issue. The water just can't get down into that storm sewer fast enough. Especially when you're talking 3 inches in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Craig, any further thought on that?
That's pretty much it. For Maple Avenue, we weren't able to increase the capacity of a pipe leaving the inlets underneath Maple because they go right to the stream under 295. So what we did is we put more capacity under the roadway, and it seems like that was successful in more water under the road as opposed to on the road flooding the properties. But for Station, it was exactly what you said. There's surface limbs and leaves and things that were restricting the water from getting into the stormwater system. Because there was an overflow down in Atlantic that wasn't being, the water wasn't bubbling up.
Right.
So we knew the water
Wasn't
wasn't
a
into the
capacity
system,
issue.
it wasn't getting into the system.
I know they fixed a lot of drains around town. With these drains on Station Avenue, been unblocked by the leaves and everything, were there new drains in Station Avenue?
Are there new drains in Station Avenue?
Because there are some further down where I live on Maple.
They did this project, like you said, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was, so
They increased the capacity of the outlets and then they rebuilt the system, so they spent a lot of money. So as long as the inlets are clear, it should run.
the other big thing I believe, right, there were check valves put in, which some of the legacy issues, if I recall from hearing these discussions, where the water would come from uphill, so it would come from First, Second, Third, Fourth Ave, coming down off the water spike. And as it all flows down Station, I believe it hooks a 90-degree turn, right, runs along Atlantic. Been in a few of these meetings. The water would, because of that 90-degree turn, would almost backflow back out those inlets into that corridor, which would flood that area. That has been mitigated because of the check valves that they put in. I do believe, I think your office said, though, you were going to check to make sure that those check valves were still operating and not stuck open.
Yeah, we were gonna work with Dave.
Dave,
I believe that's happened yet. Revisit list, weeks, but we will check Dave. make sure they're still functioning.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
All right, any other public comment? Not seeing any other public comment, we will recess for executive session. Be about, my guess is 15 minutes perhaps, about max. Craig, I think we're good. We're good to end you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. AG, like to look at all.
Oh, the state controller's report.
The state shows that they need like every town is in violation.
Well, only two of mine,
But there's nothing wrong with us.
but we're good.
Those are your big ones.
Yeah, two of my big
Talk
ones.
about this right now. I probably can't talk about this right now. Right?
Okay, motion to come out of executive session.
Phillips. So moved.
Motion by Councilman Phillips, seconded by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Thank you. Do we have anything to act on? I do not believe we do. Have a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Hagan.
Motion by Councilman Pagan. Have a second? Have a second?
Second.
Second by Council President Morgan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?
No.
All right, thank you.
Yes, we can, I guess.